All right, so I want to share something with you that's been on my heart today. So I'm celebrating my anniversary in Paris with my wife, and it's been just wonderful, man. Riding around the city on a moped, walking around, just stopping by cafes and drinking lattes and getting croissants and just exploring this beautiful city. And she and I were talking about how glad we are that we did it our way. We are in our 40s now, and we we were talking about how we're at a place now where we really don't care what anyone has to say about the way we've lived our lives, with the exception, of course, of God. And we don't want to be unnecessarily offensive or rude to people or mean to people. Like if we're coming off like that to people, of course we need to be corrected. But the way we've lived our lives, in terms of homeschooling our kids, starting our own businesses, traveling around the country, keeping our kids with us, taking our kids around the world with us while homeschooling them, teaching them entrepreneurship, and working together as a couple and as a family has been just really, really wonderful for us. But through the years, we've received so many comments and criticisms from people who questioned the way we were doing things. Are those kids really learning on the road? Man, y'all are gypsies. Y'all are never staying put. And some people were saying it in jest, kind of being funny, but there's always a seed of truth, quite often, not always, but there's sometimes a seed of truth in people's jokes. Like, man, are those kids even learning anything by doing it the way you guys are doing it? Like, y'all need to put them in school and do it the traditional way. That's the way we've always done it. And we just smile and we acknowledge people and give them space to have an opinion. But in our hearts, we knew that most people did not understand our way of life, did not see my vision, did not see my mission, didn't understand my sense of calling, didn't understand the work that my wife and me have been doing and my team. They didn't understand, and so because they didn't understand, we took their criticisms and unsolicited feedback um, as them merely expressing themselves. So why am I sharing this with you? My friend, sometimes your way is not going to make sense to a lot of people around you. It's not going to make sense to your family. It's not going to make sense to your friends, to your closest friends. And they're going to have a lot of questions or jokes or criticisms or whatever. But you've got to know in your heart that what you're doing is right for you and your family. So right now, we're in a good place. We're in a good place in nearly every sense of the world, in the word. We do need to lose weight. I've been a little sick, and so hurt my back, and so that's kind of kept me from running. And for whatever reason, when I'm not running, I stop eating healthy, like it's healthily, all of that. But with regard to my health, I'm going to get on top of that. But in every other area of our lives, we're in a good place mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. And we are so glad we didn't listen to the critics. We're so glad we didn't listen to those who had fears and doubts about the way we were doing things. People were trying to encage us by their fears, encage us with their doubts. But all criticism is autobiography. When someone criticizes you, more often than not, it's telling you more about them and their values than it is about you. Now you got to ask yourself, is there some truth to what this person is saying? And if there is some truth to it, then you need to make some adjustments. But more often than not, the people who have criticisms don't really understand your life. And so you got to take their criticism with a grain of salt. Take their feedback with a grain of salt. That's what we've done. I think that's my wife calling me to help with groceries. I'll check in with you later.